Did you get these documents in good time?
Yes, Chair.
You verified them?
Thank you, Chair, we have.
So we are good to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Chair, just on a preliminary note,
Yes,
Governor,
please.
there's a young lady there who is in charge of around 6 to 7 dockets. What's going on with that? She looks too young to bear the entire burden of Lamu County. What's happening?
Well, there is a push to promote the Gen Zs. And because Lamu, I only have 10 wards. And the number of CECs that I can appoint is limited. So some of them have a bigger burden.
But 9 dockets, even if it's a Gen Z, Jamini. How many dockets is she in charge of?
Senator, I assure you she's up to the task.
That's not my concern. I'm just saying you might be putting a little bit too much on one person.
Too much weight. She's too young.
That's how they will grow.
Okay.
How many directors do you have in that ministry, that department? How many directors, how many CCOs?
There are 2 chief officers and nearly 4 directors.
Okay. All right. Senator Sifuna is becoming empathetic. That maybe if you put too much on her and she has not started a family, it might be a bit tricky. Inaccurate cash and cash equivalents, auditor, this query had very many issues, like the issue of Lamu municipality being given self-reporting mandate. How is it now?
That particular one, Chair, has been addressed.
It has been addressed?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So
sorry, Chair, partially. I mean,
okay.
it had 4
limbs, eh? So that is the first limb. That one is addressed?
Yes.
Do they have now municipality which is given with accounts and it's audited on its own?
It will be audited. They will submit the financial statements, but they have put the structures, Chair.
Okay, there was the issue of locker.
Same, Chair.
So we keep it in view.
Yes.
The accounts on fuel levy, Lamu County Urban Institution Grant, Lamu County Kenya Urban Support Program. What about those? What is still subsisting?
These ones, they have not put structures for them to self-report.
Okay, Governor, just briefly so that we don't really belabor on this. What is the problem?
If I may ask,
please go ahead.
My
CEO.
The director in charge of accounts.
Okay.
Okay, Honorable Chair. The issue is partially resolved because there are some account for Kenya Devolution Support Program, for the special purpose account, and the fuel levy. These are form part of the county executive budget, so they are purely reported under county executive. So they cannot be reported independently. For example, like fuel levy, these are money transferred from the ministries, whereby the county form part of the budget, but the auditing is done or the reporting is done under the ministry, national government. Thank you.
So auditor, to assist them, what should they do sharply so that we can have a neat way of operating?
Ideally, they should form structures for all these to self-report, especially the one on Lamu County informal settlement. But if you allow, Chair, during the coming audit, we can look at this issue more thoroughly and be able to.
So please keep it in view.
Yes.
So that you can have it included in the next audit. That's okay? So Director.
Yeah, thank you.
But the one I want us to look at is this one on long outstanding deposits and retentions balance. That is audit paragraph number Auditor,
Number 3.
number 3, please go through that.
Thank you, Chair. Let me read. The statement of assets and liabilities and note 15 to the financial statements reflects a balance of Kenya shillings 100,725 and 7 in respect of deposits and retentions. Included in the balance is Kenya shillings 93,087,410 in respect of deposits, out of which Kenya shillings 45,024,514 relate to deposits outstanding for prior periods of between 1 year to over 3 years. The balance of Kenya shillings 7,637,597 relate to long outstanding gratuity for over 3 years. Further, the retention registers and list of persons whose gratuity amounts are outstanding submitted reflects a balance of Kenya shillings 115,837,157 resulting to unexplained variance of Kenya shillings 15,113,149. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the deposits and the retention balance of Kenya shillings 100,725,7 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, what would be the response to this? Or what is the response?
Thank you, Chair. We have appointed a task force to verify the beneficiaries and reconcile the variances. If you look at Annex 1, Appendix 3, it relates to the appointment of the task force on verification of long outstanding deposit accounts and gratuity.
Governor, you've lost us. There's 3 volumes.
The big volume.
The 3 I have are all big.
The big one.
So you are on which annex?
You're holding it?
Annexure 3.
Yes, I'm with you.
So we have set up the task force, and we have also attached the minutes of their meeting. And
Governor, this task force was set up on 11th, which is how many days ago?
on 11th June.
That's how many? 8 days ago.
Yes.
Was it in anticipation of our meeting?
Well, we got recommendations that we need to do that. And
The recommendations were made in March.
yes.
What took you so long?
Because the gratuity, one of the problems is that the beneficiaries have not applied for their gratuity.
Auditor, how long has this been an audit issue? Was it there in the previous financial year?
Yes, it was there, Chair. It was there.
Auditor, I've looked at the implementation of the recommendations. However, even with that action of making a task force, how does it respond to deposits and retentions that have been there for a long time and they have not been claimed? What would be the reason? Because liability periods could be 6 months, but then we have outstanding deposits of 1 year up to 3 years. which is way beyond the statutory period. So even that task force, Governor, what would it be looking at? What would be the mandate?
We have, Chair, we have stated the mandate in the appointment memorandum.
Who is
Is to
supposed to
verify
blame?
and reconcile all records related to the deposit accounts and gratuity payments, to match outstanding balances with departmental documentation and third-party claims, and to recommend settlement for legitimate claims and propose resolution for dormant or unsupported balances.
Chair,
Yes, yes.
can I go on record?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Senator Mwenda Kataya, Senator from this committee, and Chair, I have a concern. There is a question that Senator Sifuna has just posed to the Governor on the timing of the formation of this task force, which was formulated, I think, 11th June. 11th June, I think a week ago. One would easily interpret it to me that this task force was supposed to manage and discuss this meeting all the way from June up to, from March when you received the letter. So this task force came into being some 2 weeks, I think a week ago.
Chair, already a lot of work has
So
gone
that
into
question has not been exhausted. That concern is still with us.
No, I'm saying a lot of work has already gone into that, and I want to assure you, by the time the next audit is done, this issue will have been resolved.
Okay, Auditor, what is the status of that concern?
The issue is still outstanding because we've not received any evidence to show that the long outstanding deposits and retention money and gratuity has been fully paid. So, Chair, it can only be resolved once the balances are cleared. Thank you, Chair.
So where did the deposits go to?
Say that again, Chair.
Where did the deposits go to? Because they are long outstanding. Somebody must have taken them, the deposits, and they have not been repaid.
Yeah, actually, the deposits are for contracts, which they paid the deposits upfront, and also the retention money is retained as the contracts are being paid.
And nobody is claiming it.
And then after the expiry of the liability period, we expect them to be paid back to the contractors, but they have not been paid. The explanation we've received from the client is that the beneficiaries are not claiming these deposits.
Okay, so it's like the one we had in the morning. We had a claim like that in the morning, where we have people with 5 years retentions and they're not claiming the money. So what is actually the problem? You can have your officers assist you. Lamu contractors are very rich. You finish your contract and you just say tumieni tu. Wamelipo ya kutosha, so the retentions are...
Let me ask the Director of Accounts to respond.
Yes.
Through the chair, the issue has two aspects. We have the gratuity payments for the contractual employees. These are purely, we say that there are some contracts has been expired, but these employees, they haven't claimed, because we cannot initiate payment if the beneficiaries has not claimed.
What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do?
They're supposed to write an official letter and attach all the supporting documents, including their contract and the contract period.
Have you prompted them to write the letters?
Yes, they have those communication.
Do you have any to show that you have communicated to them? Do you have any correspondences?
For now, I don't have.
If we gave you time, would you bring the correspondences?
Yes.
And during the time of audit, why didn't you give the auditor?
the correspondences to show that this person contract expired 3 years ago, but they have not claimed their gratuity.
Because these are no longer employees of Lamu County,
But they are
we
still
cannot
people-
access maybe the accessibility and knowing where they are can be somehow.
By the way, Chair,
Yes.
you know, in
And
this
the-
country, I don't think anyone can chase you to bring you your money. I have the same situation with unclaimed financial assets
Yes.
at the national level. There's people who just disappear. But my problem, Governor, is that increasingly, you know, I've never been a governor, but many of your colleagues, whenever there is an issue they don't want to resolve, they always throw in a task force. Task forces all over the place. And the reason why I was asking you about the date of this letter, because I feel like you just threw a task force at us, so that when we have this meeting, you say there's something you're doing. But that correspondence that he's asking for could help to demonstrate that you are concerned about the hygiene of your own books, and you need to get this thing out as an audit query for yourself. So you should have provided that correspondence during the audit. And in fact, Chair, if you look at the recommendations we've made on all these matters in the financials, from the issue number 1 on inconsistencies and inaccuracies, to inaccurate cash and cash equivalents, to the issue we are discussing on long outstanding deposits and retentions. You will see recommendations there, Governor, for you to take administrative action against your officers who fail to provide documents during audit. And maybe, Chair, that is what we should be discussing. If documents are provided at audit, there's no query, the query goes away. It's that simple. So you should talk to us about the action you've taken with regards to these officers who fail to provide documents during audit.
This particular aspect, Honorable Senator, through the chair, the action I've taken is to form this task force.
That's not administrative action.
And I am personally following up, because on the retentions, some of them are payable, some are not, because the works that were done were not up to standard. So legally,
That's now the work of the task force, right?
Yes.
To sift through those.
Yes.
But the issue you are not addressing
Yes.
is failure by your officers to provide documentation to demonstrate some of the things you're talking about.
You know, Honorable Senator, sometimes even when the auditors come, the kind of questions they post, it's difficult to, they may ask for a particular thing, then when the report comes, there's something else that did not arise during the audit.
I don't think that is correct, Governor. I happen to also be audited. I am an accounting officer of a fairly large institution called ODM. So when the audit happens, the inception meeting, I sit in those meetings. When we do the exit meetings, we sit in those meetings. When they bring me the management letter, I sit with my team. If there's a document that has not been provided, then the auditor will always specify what document it is. If you don't provide, it is a violation of the law. So that is why there was that.
Senator, I also sit in the exit,
Yes.
and also when they come in, and we try and do our best, but these things happen. They audit, then a different query comes, which was not brought up during the audit.
Patrick, that has never happened with me in the 8 years I've been SG of ODM.
Let's just say something through the chair. So let's just operate through the chair, so that I'll give you practical opportunity to speak, but the person who had called for the mic was Senator Gatai. First, then you come.
Chair, I don't want to pray to the gallery. I mean, in the usual setup, are you supposed to prompt these contractors to claim for retention? Who is supposed to? I thought this is their money. You know, once you are done, the contract is done, you just come and claim for your retention.
And just to write
So
on that.
what are those correspondences that you say you have generated?
And then just before you go, just to write on your question, you know, contractor has done a contract. If the works have not been done as per the specification in the bills of quantities, you don't need a task force to say that we're not paying this retention because the work was below par. We don't need a task force at all. So we have 45 million that has not been, in terms of deposits and retentions, that has not been given back to the contractors. What is the problem? Do you need a task force to verify?
Yeah, some
you know,
of them.
our gut instinct will tell us maybe those contracts, after all, were not done.
Chair, some of these contracts date back a couple of years. We have come in and found them. We don't have much information on them. So that's why the task force has to verify and ensure that otherwise, if we just pay, it may expose us.
But Patrick?
Okay, Chairman, the comment I wanted to make was the effect that the auditor will go to the ground and ask for documentation. In fact, on this area of retention, the auditor will ask for registers, retention registers. They'll ask for lists of persons whose gratuity amounts are outstanding, so that the auditor now can conduct further and additional audit tests to be able to come up with the observations. And the auditor is also not obligated to say why they're asking for certain records. So they'll ask for information for them to be able to conduct further tests. Out of those tests, they now come up with these observations. That's it. Thank you, Chairman.
I think that is very useful. So, Governor, why weren't you giving information in good time? Yes? Your director will respond for you on your behalf.
Yeah, maybe for the issue of the register, we have provided the register for the deposit and retention. So we have the list of all the contracts that were given. So the issue still pending is for the contract that has not completed. For example, we have construction of county headquarters that has gone so many years back, and until now we haven't completed those projects. And there's some money that has been retained specifically for those projects. So these are money accumulated specifically for this.
So, Abbas, is that difficult to explain to the auditor during the time of audit? You are explaining it in a very simple manner. So is it possible to say we gave the registers and you know all the deposits and retentions are for these projects? Why can't you give it to the auditor during the time of audit?
Chair, if you might indicate how much is retention on the county headquarters?
For that, I just give an example, but approximately about around 10 million.
So out of this,
but it's just one example that
45 million. Out of that 45 million, 10 million is for the county headquarters.
approximately, maybe I can give the correct figure.
Yes, auditor. What you would need so that you can mitigate on this query?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, the client gave us the register, but the register had a variance between what is disclosed in the financial statements and the amount in the register. So we also required a reconciliation, which is yet to be provided.
Okay. So is it a reconciliation issue now?
Yes, and also there are two issues: the reconciliation and clearing of those balances.
Lastly, Chair, on this issue from me, Governor, the explanation you've given on projects, it makes sense. The only problem is a question of the disclosures and the reconciliation. But what is the explanation about gratuities, for instance? Do you need a task force to tell you this is a former employee who left and we owe them money or we cannot reach them?
You know, Senator, there are also ghost employees.
Oh,
Yeah.
ghost employees.
I think so. I think so.
As
I think so. So you need the task force then
That's why we need
to
the
uncover that,
task force.
to catch the ghosts. Yes, Senator.
Chair, what would be interested to know from the OAG? Is this an accounting issue or some loss of everything under allocation. Reconciliation.
Through the Honorable Chair, as so far as we are concerned, is an accounting issue because it has an element of the balances which were disclosed are not accurate because of the supporting documents. Do not add up to the amount disclosed in the
It is only
financials.
that limb that is an accounting issue.
Yes.
But the other issue where deposits for projects and retentions are not paid, we want you to confirm and the county to confirm if those projects were actually done. If they are done and the contractors are still living, they are not dead, why aren't they coming for their retentions? Then number two, there are people who are working there and their gratuity balance of 7,607,597 has not been claimed. We want to know where they are. Reach out to them. Let them come for their money. Wambeni wanapata shida huko lakini pesa yao iko hapo. Is that okay, Governor? Senator, please come on record. Senator for the great people of Nandi.
Good afternoon, Chair Grace. My name is Senator of the Republic of Kenya from Nandi County.
So because of time, that audit query will not go. You still need to communicate and engage the auditor in this upcoming audit exercise so that then you see if you can mitigate on it.